The other one's fueled and it takes off.
So they're closer in the evolutionary chain to us than some of the other ones. Is that
that's my
a safe
assumption. Yeah. Now, the other third type that got mentioned on mission was reptilians. But every time that they were mentioned, it was really quickly hushed up by whoever else was on the other end of the line. Shut up, don't say that, is what they were doing.
They don't want to talk about the reptilians.
They don't want to talk about the reptilian presence at all. They would talk about the tall whites and the grays being in the lab environments. Not a lot, but some. But these reptilians, it was like nobody wanted to talk about it.
Was there any sort of an explanation did anybody give you of why they don't want to talk about it?
No. The only time I got any inkling was that when I, was out of the program and other people started to talk to me about all the different, things. And they're like, well, how many races are there? I don't know. But some people talked about the reptilians. They're like, do you realize that these are evil? And I had to listen to that.
And the thing is, we don't know if it's because of their appearance. You would assume something that's reptilian is maybe a demon or whatever, and a Nordic, where the blonde hair, blue-eyed is considered like an angel, or is it that's just our perception? Mm-hmm. But that's what you hear.
Well, every reptile here is evil. Right? You ever seen a Komodo dragon eat a goat? It's horrific. They're fucking monsters. Every single reptile is a monster.
Yeah,
that's here. There's not one cuddly reptile you can hang out with, cuddles with you. He brings you your newspaper in the morning. Oh,
I thought that was funny because the lady's like, my snake sleeps with me every night, and the guy says, no, it's laying next to you because it's sizing you up for eventually a chance when it's going to eat you. I was like,
one day it's going to eat you. You have a monster that you feed, and as long as you keep feeding, it won't eat you. Yeah, people with pythons for pets.
Well, to give it some credibility, I did do some research after that person talked to me, because I did see that there is a reptilian race that is very malign like that, and they even have, according to what I read, this one race has a penchant for blood for some reason. It's like a shark frenzy with them. They have
like a real reptile.
It's a euphoric experience for them. Yeah, a reptilian race that does that.
It just makes you wonder about human history, about the stories of demons and angels. And this is what Tucker Carlson believes, that they've always been here, and that this idea that they're coming from another planet it's not that simple.
No.
That's more complicated. And he thinks that it's the demons and the angels from the Bible.
Yeah.
So they could be seen that way, but here's something that we were just talking and throwing ideas at each other. He said if humans have actually been on the earth, like, say, this long.
Right.
All right. When the dinosaurs were here, they were like this long. So is it possible that some of them could have evolved to a certain point, know that something bad's going to happen? They're so advanced, they go off-world, and then they come back and go, hey, what happened here?
Or is there a place where the Yucatan impact never happens? Mm-hmm. And so those dinosaurs eventually evolved to become super intelligent.
Yes. Because remember back in the day, there used to be an Omni magazine?
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of those hypotheses was if mammals like us hadn't shown up, what would we have looked like? And it shows a lizard walking upright and doing, everyday things that.
But wouldn't you think that it would have done that already? Like, they were around for like 100 million years, 200 million years.
Yes.
Like, in that time period, they didn't evolve at all. Those fuckers, they just kept eating each other in the same way.
That's the assumption. But now we're going back and looking at all kinds of different things. Like, they said that maybe it wasn't the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. Maybe it was a combination of things, like there was some kind of mutation, something that they drank in the water, and all at the same time. Maybe the asteroid was the catalyst to start it. And then all these other things that happened after, the fireball, all the other stuff. But if there was a group that was so advanced that they could sit there and go, that's an asteroid. It's going to kick our butt. Let's better get off world. Or let's go under, because there's some lizard-looking things that can go underwater and do their thing.
Live underground, that kind of thing, yeah.
Because I heard a story.
Oh, I know.
Heavy.
But anyway.
Go ahead. You heard a story?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just heard a story that someone just said, imagine this. The aliens are coming down. There's another society here that lives on the ground, highly advanced. And they like to keep things the way they are. So they're going to direct all their energy to make sure that the NHI that we're seeing are paying attention to us and not them. And I was like,
yeah. But see, for me, The way I look at all this reptilian presence is just like I've read in the Bible. That for some reason I feel like this whole experience I've had in my life actually increased my faith in the Bible and God. Because even in the Bible it mentions the serpents, and that Lucifer being the head of that genre or species did cause the fall of mankind and all this other good stuff. So to me, I feel like I just got experience with the reality of the fact that these things exist. And even though they try to keep it all hidden, that I got exposed to the program where I could see some of it. And I think that there's some credence also to that side of it as well. So to give credence to the whole thing is just to say that I that's what I believe, but at the same time, I wasn't there.
This Eben thing that you talked about initially,
Yeah.
this creature, what did that thing look like?
They didn't really describe the Eben.
They didn't?
Nope. They just said that it was just like them reporting on something for that day. So it was kind of like a daily thing with them.
So they had already described it. You just weren't privy to it, and so they were just
to
going
them
on
it was
the
probably,
assumption that everybody who's talking about
yeah,
it
it's kind of
knows.
like, somebody asked me what you look like today. You
Right.
know, after the first time they asked me, they're never going to ask me about that again.
Got
so
it.
it was like it was just not a
Got
topic.
it. So this Eben, was it here against its will? Was it here to
It
interact
sounded like it
with
was
us?
imprisoned.
Imprisoned?
It sounded like an interrogation result is what it sounded like.
If you hear any of the stories, they make it sound like he was one of the survivors and he got stuck here, and he started working with us, and eventually he died in the
He eventually died, yes.
natural causes. But it's all speculation because we're hearing all this stuff,
Right.
but we don't have any way to verify.
And how many other stories that are similar to that, like the interactions and a thing being here with us, have you heard?
There's another one that actually escaped from captivity,
Yo.
but he actually convinced his interpreter or his interrogator to help him escape because the program was trying to get him to open a portal for them, and they wanted control of it. And the guy eventually, the interrogator actually pushed him into the portal and had surreptitiously given him back to his own home world. And it ended that guy's career probably.
A portal.
Yeah.
And what kind of portal are we talking about?
You're talking like it's kind of like a way of opening a wormhole that you can control.
And did they say where this thing was accomplished and how?
I think it was also in Reticuli. I think it was another being from the Reticuli system.
Right, but the portal. Where's
the
this
portal.
portal? How is it accomplished?
The portal, I thought, I was trying to think, where was that call from and to? Because you always get the originating location, but you're always trying to figure out who the distant end is. I'm trying to think all the parameters because you have to write down the phone number and every stuff sometimes. It sounded like it might have been on the Pacific Northwest or the West Coast area is where this was taking place.
And did they say how the portal was made? Was this made by them?
They had recovered parts of one, and they were trying to complete it, and they were trying to get this being to help them complete the portal so that they could use it for their advantage.
Like a Stargate.
Yeah.
Like a real Stargate.
Correct. Yeah.
Remember what I was telling you, that story about, let's go get Jimmy?
Yeah.
The rumor that I heard surrounding this was that he convinced his interpreter that if he didn't get back and if he didn't get home, really bad things were going to happen. And that guy just kind of felt like, hey, I got kids and whatever.
Right. I don't want society to destroyed.
Right.
Plus, he had some compassion for him.
Yes.
Because he's been
Right.
working with him for a while.
Yeah. So when he got the chance, he was just like, get him in
Help
there.
him
And,
through.
I can't remember all the things. I think they had to keep this entity tied to a chair or something so he couldn't do anything. And that's why he needed the help of the guy that was the interpreter. He had to push him into the portal on the chair that he was tied to.
yeah. So for the rumors I heard, I didn't hear the portal part. I just heard that he was able to get him outside, and just as he got him outside, they just showed up above and did a snatch and grab, and he was gone, and next thing you know, he's out there.
So there's different versions of the
Right,
story.
there's different versions. I'm just telling you that that's the only other one I've heard that you're mentioning that you wanted me to describe. That
Right.
was there any other entities that we had captured and had something similar? That's the only other story I've heard.
Do you know the Richard Nixon story?
Yeah, where he went with Jackie Gleason.
Yeah. Do you think that's bullshit?
Actually, not for that time frame. No, I could see Jackie Gleason and Richard Nixon soaking some suds down.
Well, that I definitely could say. And also, Jackie Gleason did become obsessed with UFOs afterwards, and even had a house built the shape of a UFO.
Yeah,
it's a wild-looking house that was apparently for sale recently.
Yes, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't in Palisades, was it?
It was in no, it was in upstate New York. It did look like it's a very bizarre looking house. Like you see, you're like, why would Jackie Gleason build it? Want to see it? Pull it up, Jamie.
That'd be cool.
You look at it, you're like, why would Jackie Gleason build a house like this? But then you hear that story, you go, well, maybe that's why he did it. Maybe because the word was that he had become obsessed with UFOs at one point in his life, and this story came out, I think, as told by his wife.
Oh wow, yeah.
This was Jackie Gleason's house, which is so weird.
Yeah,
spaceship-like house, very strange, very fucking strange.
For someone to do something like that.
Yeah,
I would have to believe they had something profound.
Or they were me. 'Cause I would build that. I've never had a UFO
So
experience. I'd build that
warped?
fucking house. I love that house.